All right, real quick, guys, I'm going to pull this stuff out of this box here, and then we're going to head down range and test this guy out. So I've been doing a lot of CVLIFE pistol red dot reviews on the channel, and I wanted to try one of the CVLIFE ones here and see how it does. So as you can see there, this is the Wolf Covert. It's a RMS RMSC footprint. They make this, this one's a red dot, but they also make it in green dot. Put a link in the description. It'll take you to both options. Comes with a Picatinny base here if you want to mount it on a Picatinny rail, 20mm or whatever. You know, so you can put it on a 45-degree offset on a rifle or a shotgun or whatever. It also detaches from this so that you can mount it up on your pistol. It's a 2 MOA red dot, and you also have these little fiber optic green sights on the back there that may co-witness with some front sights. It comes with a battery. I'm not sure if it's in there or not. Yeah, it doesn't look like it, but I know it does come with a battery. Decent sized window there for RMSC. And it also comes with, so you got a bunch of hardware in there. I think it's 6 different sets of screws, so it'll fit a lot of different pistols with the RMSC footprint. There's a battery there. Looks like it might have came with 2, actually. Yeah, we got 2 batteries. Cool. It only takes 1, so we got a backup battery there. But it also comes with the MOS adapter plate as well. And it came with one other thing, or it's supposed to, which I do believe is in here, which I thought was interesting. Oh, there's some more screws. Oh, there it is. It's already attached to this. It's got this little gasket thing right here. And I believe that's, you know, the battery is bottom mounted on this, as it is, you know, most little budget options like that are, unless you go higher end, you have the side trays so you don't have to take it on and off, you know, to swap out your battery when you eventually do have to. But it's got a little gasket here, I guess, separates it from the slide, maybe keep some goo off of it, maybe help with you know, I guess any corrosion from building up between the battery and the metal slide there. So it does come with that, which I thought was neat because I've never seen one of those before. A little gasket there for the bottom of it to separate it. And then there's your MOS adapter plate if you're running an MOS system. There's your little rubber cap there too, in case I skipped over that, which I think I did. But there's a pretty good, quick little overlook of everything that comes with there. And then as you can see in this image here, bottom mount for the battery. So anyways, I'm going to get this guy mounted up to one of my pistols. We'll head down to the range. I'll try to get some video and images for you so you can see what the dot looks like and all that, and we'll put her through the paces. All right, here we are at the range. Got her all mounted up there. I guess I can show you the dot now. I'll try to get some images of the dot to show you guys kind of what it looks like and whatnot, but that's pretty difficult usually, but I'll do my best. Yeah, it's not like the most clear and crisp dot I've seen. That's actually a decently close representation, other than the camera's not picking up the color real good. I mean, it's full sun if you couldn't tell. Where are we at here? And, well, I don't have it up all the way. That might help. It only goes up a little more, but I can see it super easy, even against that white background there. God, I wish this would focus. It's kind of hard to hold this in the gun and get it to focus at the same time. I'm going to have to boop it with my nose here. So, come on, man. Anyways, hopefully you guys can see that. I can see it no problem. It looks brighter to me in person than it does on camera. The camera never picks it up real well, and it also makes it look kind of pink, but she's definitely red, and even though it's full sun on that bright white background reflecting the sun, I can see it no problem. Should be close to 0 because these sights are zeroed, and I kind of just put the dot right on top. But I'm going to check it and finalize down here on this target. It's actually about 10 yards out. I got it at a slight angle because the sun was glaring off of it and you couldn't see it, but these are our first shots here, and we'll see how close it is and if I need to adjust it anymore. Which, by the way, I went the full range of motion, up, down, left, right, back and forth several times, and it worked each time I did it with no issues. They're kind of like spongy, and there's no clicks or anything, but they do work. And like I said, I brought that dot way high, way low, way left, way right several times, and it tracked correctly each time. So no issues there, but it does not click, which most of these don't anyways. So all right, just stand off the side of the camera here again, about 10 yards. Just gonna go center mass, just not going for accuracy, just seeing where we're impacting. Again, not really going for accuracy. That one was my fault. I threw that shot. So as you can see here, we're averaging about 1.5 to 2 inches low and slightly right. So make a few more adjustments, and then I'm going to try on this dot here to see how close I got it. All right, let's try it now. All right, I went too far. I got to bring it back down and back to the right. Oh, that looks closer. I flung one of those. Looks like I just need to go up a hair. I'm going to reload here and tap it up just a tad there. We'll move to the dot on the left now. Man, I always manage to throw at least one shot, don't I? So as you can see, that's pretty much perfect. I think maybe we're just a hair left average there, but that's honestly good. I'm going to give it just a hair to the right, and I mean a hair, but she's good to go. But all right, the zero should be good now, so we're running on the steel. Keep in mind, 22 obviously doesn't have a whole lot of power, so most of these it will not knock over unless I hit them at the very tippy top. And even then some of them won't fall, so I'll hit a bunch first, just center mass, and just see how fast I can run and all that. You really have to pay attention if I'm hitting. That's the other thing too, is it doesn't make, on a lot of them at least, it doesn't, especially the bowling pins back there, not a very loud like ding sound when it hits, because it just doesn't have the energy of like a center fire handgun cartridge, like say 9mm, where you would hear it hit for sure. But as long as you don't see any dirt kick up back behind them, then I'm hitting them. But then we'll slow down and do some pace shots. I'll hit like the top of those bowling pins. I'll tell you the distances and such, and see if we can get some of them to knock down. Wow, that was 25 rounds real fast. I only have 25 left. Couldn't help myself, but just going for the tips of those bowling pins instantly so I could get them to knock over there. Yeah, I wasn't sure if you could see that white guy. Hit him a few times. It's 15 yards back here. Laser rangefinder confirmed. All right, so let's see if I can hit the top of these bowling pins from back here at 15 yards, just standing freehand, which I've measured those before. It's only 2 inches across at the very tip of those bowling pins. Ah, come on. There we go. The one on the right absolutely will not fall with a 22. And those shots going left and right there, you might not be able to tell they were left and right because of the camera angle. But that was just me pulling shots left and right, just barely. Let's see if I can get this little guy. Well, I can definitely get this little guy if I can hit the tips of those bowling pins. I don't know how many rounds I have left. I sure hope you guys can hear me over that gunfire. The mic usually goes out. Let's go up here on the hill. It's I've stuck stuff up there and shot it before, 25 yards. A little higher up, but to the point that I'm gonna shoot. God. It's like this leaf or something up here I'm gonna shoot at, which will be at about between 20 and 25 yards.
I don't know if you guys could tell, but I was all over that thing. I got about a 2-inch group back there, 20 plus yards.
So yeah, I mean, obviously she's holding 0 for me there. I actually have about 100 rounds to it. I shot several off camera there, but you see me get it fine-tuned on the target there, and then obviously I'm having no problem hitting 2-inch targets out there at 15 yards, other than, you know, my own movement because I'm just standing freehand there. So lets me be pretty precise and accurate there. You know, off a bag, I can shoot this 100 yards, no problem. I actually have a short in my shorts list, shooting this 100 yards, 13 out of 13 hits, no issue, with a different red dot up on there, and I'm sure I could do it with this one too. Decently fine dot. It looks a little big and puffy there. It looks smaller in person. And more crisp and whatnot. Again, it's very difficult to capture these things on camera and to get them. I can never get them to look on camera like it does in person to show you guys, but it's not the finest, most crisp dot I've ever seen on the pistol red dots I've tested, but well, I guess that would count other red dots as well, but it's certainly not the worst. It's not bad at all. It's just not quite as small and crisp as some of the let's just say higher end models I have tested, but it's certainly not bad at all. It's no big puffy starburst thing or anything like that. And I have the astigmatism. A lot of you guys know, if you have astigmatism, it makes it look blurry anyways. And I'm not having any issue with the dot. It's still plenty small, fine, and precise for me. Again, it looks real big on camera right now just because the camera sucks at getting it, but it's at least half the size of that front sight dot there. Oh, there you go. See, now it's making it look smaller. That's closer to what it looks like to me in real life, but still a little bit smaller and finer than that. And it looks perfectly circular here, but not to me because I have that astigmatism. So, for you guys out there, if you shoot the red dots and it looks like a big puffy star, that's why. It's because you have an astigmatism. But that can certainly be magnified depending on the quality of the optic. And I'm getting just a little bit of blurry, fuzzy haze here with this one. But again, definitely not the worst I've ever seen, and not bad at all. The dot is still much smaller out there, 15 yards at the tip of those bowling pins than what the tip of that bowling pin is. At least half the size is what it looks like to me with my astigmatism. So pretty decent dot. The function is pretty simple. You just press the plus button here to turn it on. To turn it off, you press and hold the minus button on the other side for a few seconds and it'll shut off. Obviously you keep pressing plus to make it brighter, and then the minimum button there to make it dimmer. And like I said, full sun. I'm not having any issues seeing it out here in full sun against bright targets, so that's good. It's plenty bright. You guys can see there my sight height is really high. I did that intentionally because I wanted the dot to co-witness about in the middle with the sights, but because of that, you can see my sights are higher than those rear sights there. So if you have low enough sights, they're going to kind of line up with the sights that is on that optic there. But the whole point of that, a lot of guns, if it's not already optics cut, you have to replace the rear sight with an adapter plate in order to mount an optic. And on guns such as that, that's where those sights that are included on it are going to come in real handy there, because they're going to come close to lining up with your front sight there. So you have backup co-witness iron sights that way on such a setup in case your red dot battery dies or anything like that. So with this setup, it's not utilizing those because my sights are so high, but on some guns, some setups, some plates and whatnot, you will be able to utilize those sights on the optic there. Also want to mention, this is only a 22, but common misconception is that a larger caliber pistol will beat up an optic more, be a better test for it for longevity, reliability and whatnot. But I've actually done extensive research on this, and the slide velocity on a 22 is practically the same as the slide velocity on like a 9mm 40 or 45. The reason for that is because they have recoil springs that are the appropriate weight for the amount of recoil that said cartridge produces. So while the 22 is much more wimpy, it has a much more wimpy spring in there so that the slide still moves back and forth lightning fast to chamber the round. With a 9mm, which is much more powerful, it has a much stiffer spring, so your slide velocity ends up being about the same. So if you run 1,000 rounds through a 22 to test an optic, it's practically the same as running 1,000 rounds of 9mm. So yeah, I have no complaints, guys. Seems to be a pretty decent optic for the money. Again, link in the description if you want to check it out. Also, link in the description for any of the products I use in my videos. Target stand that's over here now, paper targets I use, steel targets, safety glasses, ear muffs, and way more. Everything I use links in the description of the video. Again, if you want to see more videos like this, check out the parts, accessories, and optics playlist on the channel. But thanks for watching, and I hope to catch you on the next one.